Through this video, I want to share with you an article that I wrote, which awaits publication. It's still not published and will be published soon. An article that I wrote to welcome Priyanka to Kerala politics in view of the by-election that will take place tomorrow. Since this article will be published only after the by-election takes place, I thought it appropriate to read the text to you. This is the first time in my life that I'm doing a video of this kind where I read a written text, the text written by myself. So the title of the article is Why I Welcome Priyanka to Kerala Politics. Two women politicians are currently in Kerala limelight, though for contrary reasons. Unsurprisingly, Kannur's PP Divya is hogging the limelight. Her exploits, presumably by way of moral policing the administrative culture of Kerala, has deflected attention from Priyanka's debuting in electoral politics from Wayanad. Contradictions in political cultures apart between them, they highlight the limits of the myth that we are still reluctant to outgrow, the presumed inferiority of women to men in political acumen. Women as feminists have been complaining for long, are judged by men on the basis of what they have made us to be. I'm quoting a phrase from a feminist author, that women are judged by men on the basis of what they have made us to be. Divya represents women's empowerment in an ironic mode. In this mode, women are deemed empowered if they are free and able to act like men. This is ironic because such pseudo-male empowerment distorts and deforms the feminine. The macho status that women attain in this mode is secured in many instances at a huge cost. It involves, as Shakespeare would have put it, the souring of the milk of human kindness, that all-important though intangible quality of femininity, which tends to be in our times derided as an imposition on women by men in their stratagem to limit and use women as means of convenience and sensual pleasure. It is a distortion that Shakespeare intuited more clearly than anyone else I know regarding the fierce manliness rippling in his wife's ambition. Macbeth cries out. Macbeth is the main character, is one of the four major tragedies of Shakespeare, titled Macbeth, the other being Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, and the other being these three. So Lady Macbeth, looking at Lady Macbeth's manly qualities, Macbeth cries out, "Bring forth men children only, for the undaunted metal should compose nothing but males." Given the qualities that you have, you should not give birth to girls. You should only give birth to boys. Bring forth men children only, for that undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Act 1, Scene 7 of Macbeth, the play. The implication is obvious. The worst degradation of the feminine is that it cannot mother or express the truly feminine. It is empowerment of a different order that Priyanka Gandhi denotes. So I'm moving from PP Divya to Priyanka. It's a shocking comparison, but you have to forgive me for such comparisons. So it is empowerment of a different order that Priyanka denotes. She proves that political acumen is not only compatible with, but that it really needs to be humanized by womanly grace and genius. When 2 decades ago the time was ripe for the Gandhi siblings to enter politics, there was a clamor for Priyanka to be favored over Rahul, catalyzed no doubt by the nostalgia for the Indira era of Congress. Indira, as you would know, was famously described as the only man in the Congress. But Priyanka would have none of it. she was content to play a supportive and complementary role to Rahul. What strikes me as particularly relevant is her intuitive perception of Rahul's political potential at a time when many thought of him as a handsome political misfit, of which V.S. Achyutanandan's famous Amul baby jibe is the household variant among Keralites. On the average, women are superior to men in intuitive perception, which makes them practically more effective. Most men are, for example, hopeless in multitasking. I am hopeless in multitasking. Perhaps many of my friends are not, but I'm fairly certain that when it comes to multitasking, women are by nature better endowed than men are. Women, thanks to their clearer sense of fact, understand situations better and faster. Perhaps that's a function of love. Love is the light of knowing. Power lends itself to control and flamboyance. Love makes one quietly efficient in the practicalities of life. This is the strength native to women unless they renounce it as Lady Macbeth did to become men's copycats. It is not for nothing that even today, Indira Gandhi is regarded as the best Prime Minister India ever had. And I'm sure that comparison, that would also include the comparison between Indira and Narendra Modi, rate a higher even than her legendary father, Jawaharlal Nehru. There is a context to my hailing Priyanka's electoral debut from Kerala. Years ago, I used to serve as a volunteer with Mother Teresa's home for the destitute and dying in North Delhi called Nirmal Hridaya. Advised by the sisters there, I made a visit to the children's home in South Delhi maintained by the Sisters of Charity. My visit there being over, as I was leaving, the sister in charge of that orphanage confided in me that Priyanka was serving as a volunteer twice a week in that orphanage. Caring for the children there was instinctive to Priyanka. To me, it mattered not only that she was soulful enough to care for the orphan children, but also that she did so in utmost privacy, shunning publicity. That, I believe, is typical of the feminine grace that we can never have enough of. For men, even spiritual meditations are incomplete without the hype of publicity. Men crave to be seen, whereas women care to see. The former's hands remain withered, the hands of men remain withered, unless they are assured of being noticed and acclaimed for doing good, for doing the good they do as something out of the ordinary. So men practice their charity in the full glare of publicity and public attention, whereas genuine women like Priyanka do their soulful work unseen by others and insisting on impregnable privacy and secrecy. The political culture of India urgently needs a shot of this feminine grace. This is not a politically partisan advocacy, but a citizenship dream. The ascendancy of macho politics of the 56-inch brand has undermined the foundation even of citizenship. Historically, the masculine has been nurtured on the paradigm of power. As John Stuart Mill argued, equality unsettles the masculine mindset. Men feel troubled in the presence of their equals. Men become unable to live peaceably with their equals. They tend to see equals as enemies. Was that why Jesus taught his disciples to love your enemies? Men feel insecure, John Stuart Mill argues. Men feel secure, Mill argues, only when they subjugate those in their vicinity. Hierarchy, the institutionalization of inequality, is quintessentially masculine. But equality is a precondition for justice. So, a power and inequality driven political culture revels in inflicting injustice on the vulnerable, of which lynch mobs are sporadic reminders. Kerala may be free of this malignancy, the malignancy of lynch mobs. They're more active in the North Indian states. But murder politics is endemic in Kerala. Violence denotes a renunciation of fellow feeling and a corruption of one's social imagination. We must kill our own humanity before we can kill a fellow human being. Historically, men have monopolized means of violence and the legitimacy to use them. Even today, if a man uses violence against his adversaries or against his partner in life, it's considered okay. But if a woman resorts to violence, then it's considered extremely unnatural, even if that is in self-defense. So we must kill our own humanity before we can kill a fellow human being. Historically, men have monopolized means of violence as well as the legitimacy to use them. Men are disempowered by this power orientation. Buddha preached compassion. Jesus Christ incarnated love, both as antidotes to the malignancy of power. Kerala remembers by fits and starts its Navothana legacy, but that legacy is excluded from the dynamics of the politics we practice. The essence of Navothana is love, which is something that is not understood enough in Kerala.